Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Random Thoughts. I am your humble DM, Tim, and today we're going to talk about how you can play one of my favorite non-playable races, the Modrons. Now, for those of you that are only a little bit aware or completely unaware, the Modrons are a species of construct that come from Planescape, or from the Outer Planes. They come from the plane of Mechanus, which is also the plane of lawful neutrality. Now, why would someone want to play a creature that is lawful neutral, you might say? Well, there can be a lot of interesting role-playing choices or opportunities that you can get for playing something that is lawful neutral. Now, just because you're playing something that is lawful neutral doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be the lawful buzzkill is the word I'm looking for. You don't have to be lawful stupid like a lot of people think that paladins have to be. Lawful neutrality just means that you need to follow the rules. Now, your character, if you are going by that, all that means is that as long as there are a set of rules that it can follow, then it must follow those rules because that is the way that it functions. It doesn't necessarily have to follow those rules all of the time. That's where roleplay comes into it, and you have moral conflicts and bits and pieces like that. But when it comes to doing roleplay, a lawful neutral character can actually be quite a lot of fun. Case in point, when I actually played as a Modron for a short period of time, I played a character called CR41G, or Craig, who was a Modron who had been disconnected from Mechanus and didn't really know what to do with himself, but he knew that he had to follow the rules. And so the rules that he followed were just whatever rules were written down or whatever the people that he was with explained to him to be the rules. So if he walked into a city and there was signage that was up, he would always make sure to read the signage, and whatever was written on those signs, he would follow those rules precisely. He would never break those rules unless something had occurred or someone explained to him, well, you don't need to break that rule, or, I'm in danger. If you don't break this rule, you are going to get me killed. Then he might break that rule. There was a situation where we were walking into an area that was controlled by kobolds, and the sign said, kobolds only, and I wouldn't go in, and so someone had to take the sign down so that my character could actually go in. And it's those little bits and pieces that actually give you a little bit of fun when it comes to playing a lawful neutral character. But unfortunately, one of the things that didn't come out in this box set, Jesus, a heavy one, the Adventures in the Multiverse, you didn't get a Modron playable race. In fact, I don't think you got any playable races in this off the top of my head. But what we did get, however, a while back was the Spelljammer box set. And in that, we got the Astral Adventurer's Guide. And on page 11 of the Astral Adventurer's Guide, we got the rules for the Auto-Gnome. Now, the Auto-Gnome is a construct, a small-sized construct. They have the rules for armored casing, which means that you are encased in metal or some other durable material. While you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 13 plus your dexterity modifier. You have built for success, which means you can add a D4 to one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you make, and you can use it the amount of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Healing Machine If the mending spell is cast on you, you can spend a hit die, roll it, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your con modifier. In addition, your creator designed you to benefit from several spells to preserve life, so spells that wouldn't normally affect constructs will actually affect auto-gnomes, such as Healing Word and Spare the Dying, etc. Mechanical nature, you have resistance to poison, immunity to disease, and you have advantage on saving throws against being paralyzed or poisoned. You also don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. You can take a long rest for 6 hours of standing still but remaining perfectly conscious. And you gain 2 tool proficiencies of your choice selected from the player's handbook. Now, essentially, if you want to play as a Modron in terms of mechanics, all you need to do is take the auto-gnome stat block and just ask your DM to allow you to be a medium creature rather than a small, and that's essentially it. The rest of it, like with the Mind Flayer, always comes down to the way that you play the role. Now, there are a lot of options in terms of that, because you can play a fighter, you can play a rogue, you can play, God forbid, a ranger. But there's actually a really good one out there, almost like specifically designed for playing as a Modron type character, and that is the Clockwork Sorcerer. This is a sorcery class that is actually linked to Mechanus, and it allows you to manipulate probability, and is actually really, really cool. The other items out there that you can pick up are the Clockwork Amulets as well as the Clockwork Armor. The Clockwork Armor, I believe, is in the Book of Many Things. The Clockwork Amulet is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. The Clockwork Amulet and the Clockwork Armor essentially do the same thing. The Clockwork Armor allows you to do it 3 times per day, whereas the Clockwork Amulet is 1 time per day. And what the Amulets and Armor do is allow you to substitute any dice roll and just say it's a 10. And so one thing about the Clockwork Amulet as well is that it's a non-attunement item, and it is a common magical item. So depending on how generous your dungeon master is, or if you're using the new abilities to build magic items from the new Dungeon Master Guide, you could actually have your Modron character just covered in clockwork amulets, like he's got like a coat filled with different clocks, and he just whips out it. Oh, it's time for that. It's time for this moment here. Ducks out of the way. That's his 10 for a saving throw. And at this point here, he's going to be over there. Fires a shot. That's a 10. That makes the hit on the particular character. It's not always going to work, of course. Getting your sometimes you're going to need more than 10. But in terms of mechanics meeting out roleplay, it kind of works. Now, it also comes down to, as well, what type of Modron you would play. You would not be allowed to play any of the larger ones. You'd probably end up getting stuck being either a duodrone, a monodrone, or a quadrone. The tridrone and the pentadrone. That's it, the 5s. Jeez. Are a little bit too are a little bit too complicated to be played as playable characters. And then of course you've got the septon, the hexon, the hexaton, the octon, the nonaton, and the decaton. Those 2 are definitely not going to be able to be used. But the other option there, of course, is that the monodrone and the quadrone both have wings. Now, that isn't necessarily going to be an issue. You could just speak with your DM and be allowed to have the ability to fly, or be given, say, a set of boots of winged boots to start off with. Or, in case of one instance that I've seen, in the game Planescape Torment, you actually come across a Modron called Nordum, which is Modron backwards. and he is a quadrone, but he doesn't have wings. He actually has 2 additional limbs, and he's dual wielding crossbows, and he uses his top arms to reload the crossbows so he can dual fire and keep firing both shots. So you could just have it that you've lost your wings, or you have an additional set of arms. Again, it all comes down to what you and your DM discuss and what he is going to allow. But yeah, so if you're ever curious about playing a different type of construct, not necessarily a Modron, then definitely check out the Autognome. I think it's probably the better version compared to the Warforge. And yeah, let me know what you think. And if you're going to give it a go, let me know how it goes. But yeah, for now, that's it. And until next time, everybody, remember to keep on blending. Bye!